as we reflect on the horrors we have already seen, and as we're on the precipice potentially of even more, several of our attendees and readers have asked, what can they do? How can the American people respond? How can Israel be held account? What can be done to prevent escalation, to hold Israel accountable, to stop even more horrors from happening?
Well, ultimately, it's American politicians that make those decisions. So the real question comes down to what do American politicians hear from American public? I mean, the bizarre thing for me in the past few months is that the only American politicians who've been talking against the war with Iran have been the MAGA ones. The Democrats, by and large, are silent, and then you could say the progressives have been focused on Gaza, not on Iran. But how far this goes? Can they really influence the administration? To what extent? These are all interesting questions. But and maybe even Israel's calculation is that the mood of the American public is changing, both because of the progressive side and because of the MAGA side. And that maybe suggests to them that the window is even narrower. They don't have a long-term window because in 2 years' time, that window may be closing. And so you could also say that they have pressed much further. I mean, I really don't have a silver bullet answer as to, what can we do? But I know that, all Americans ultimately have to, in a democracy, talk to their representatives and ask of them and tell them that this is a priority. And I know we're also in a time period that issue of war with Iran has to compete with other urgent matters, like, ICE and immigration, or, protest in California, or, a whole host of trade and domestic and other sets of issues. But ultimately, that's the way in which politics in America is formed.